My name is Yana, and I am a Google Logistics Specialist. I handle delivering the target audience with the necessary parameters. I help businesses scale their online sales using Google advertising tools. And in today's video, I will show one of the case studies. And I will also talk about the challenges you may face in this niche, because it is not that simple in terms of sales, relatively speaking. What do we have? We have an online store selling live flowers, and we have ready-made bouquets. Our task is to advertise. This is for the market in the United States, specifically a city I won't name. Because we chose a city, we are showing analytics for 7 days compared to the previous 7 days. There aren't many expenses and, accordingly, not many sales. So, I want to show you the approximate results for the period from December 22nd to December 28th. Here you can see our expenses directly in dollars. We have 9 purchases recorded by our analytics. I will emphasize this further because the Shopify platform has certain nuances in its setup specifically for Google advertising, and, accordingly, the cost per conversion. This is our advertising campaign 1728. Here you can see additional profitability obtained from these 2 campaigns. Even here, considering the $30 cost per conversion, the profitability is 607. 607% is a relatively small result, and there is also a test advertising campaign. In any case, what I would like to say in this case is the challenges one might face in such niches. The first thing is what you typically want to launch in a timely manner. The challenges that can arise during the process of launching such stores, especially on the Shopify platform. The first is the proper and accurate tracking of all conversions. Unfortunately, although Shopify is the most popular e-commerce platform, it still has shortcomings in terms of accuracy from an analytics perspective. This directly concerns the accuracy and correctness of tracking conversions. This can be due to various reasons. For example, you might have a pre-sales page on the final pages, or you might have some payment systems that do not redirect the customer back, or when the customer is not redirected, another traffic source gets overwritten, the sound channel. It doesn't matter, it's important. The main problem with Shopify stores, regardless of the niche, is that a lot of conversions fall into direct. So, if you open your Shopify store and look at the report on the source of your orders, you will undoubtedly see direct traffic as the largest in terms of volume and conversions. But in reality, this is not the case. This is not a direct entry. It could be a paid channel or something else. In other words, one of the biggest challenges of launching ads on Shopify, which is often the hardest for any specialist to handle, is that they simply do not see up-to-date analytics. Well, okay, the specialist does not see this analytics. Well, you can roughly estimate the order volume there. The second difficulty in selling such products is that it is particularly important for you to target the correct audience. Your goal is not just to appear for queries like flower delivery or florist near me or any other query. No, it is crucial for you to catch the person at the right moment. There are people who are just comparing prices and planning to buy flowers for an upcoming holiday, and then there are those who are in urgent need or have already decided to buy but are just choosing where to purchase. And what does it affect? The cost per conversion. It has a very significant impact. Getting a cost per conversion of $150 or $20 or even $15. This is very important. Therefore, if only one effective advertising channel can be launched for this purpose, even though I don't particularly like it, it would be Performance Max. Performance Max is a new type of advertising campaign that combines all types of advertising campaigns. For flowers, we launch campaigns both with and without objects, but this is conditional for specialists in case they are interested. What is the complexity of this Performance Max? It uses artificial intelligence for targeting. What does it mean to use artificial intelligence? This means that the system needs to get information about the behavior on your site, because you don't just want to get some random purchasers, right? You want to get them at a certain cost. Here, for example, it is more expensive than what could actually be obtained. I will explain the challenges faced in the project here. You might have a cost per conversion of around $80 to $90 for some projects in similar niches, right? You don't want to just spend money for nothing, right? You want to make a profit from it. To make a profit, you need to limit these companies, that is, give an additional signal to Google's artificial intelligence to find people who can buy from you, but with certain criteria. But in order for him to find them, he needs to provide this customer behavior analytics on the website. So, what seems completely insignificant to you, like a person coming in and saying they want to buy a bouquet of red roses, 100 pieces, 200 pieces, or whatever you have, or a bouquet of peonies or some daisies. It seems like they bought it. No, guys. Before he even starts to make a purchase, he will have a whole long, multi-volume list of behaviors leading up to it. And all of this will be taken into account by artificial intelligence. But the problem with this whole situation is that there are many people in the United States who have very similar behavior patterns, but some of them won't fit into the values you want, such as the cost per sale, profitability, or something else. For example, you want to sell expensive bouquets, not cheap ones or something else. To adjust this for artificial intelligence, it is crucial for it to receive the full set of user behavior data on the site, including conversions. So, if we are recording incorrect conversion sources on Shopify or not all conversions are being captured in the Google Ads account, it's not just a small warning sign that performance won't manage. It will be difficult to scale this artificial intelligence. And then he will simply start changing the targeting. So, how does artificial intelligence think? It has some kind of programmed predictive model of how a person should behave on the internet in e-commerce. There is your niche, and then there is your behavior on the site. For example, it takes your product listings, leads to the site, leads, people land on the site, but nothing happens. They don't buy your product. What does artificial intelligence do? If an audience buys from others, but not from you, it means they are not suitable for you. I will redirect the traffic to a new channel. Well, it seems logical. But the nuance in translating this shift in audience targeting direction is the biggest problem when managing these performance max campaigns. Because other competitors are buying this traffic, and you are buying it too, but the system simply does not see the conversions of these purchases. She does not see the customer's behavior on the site. She changes direction, meaning you disappear from the monitor, targeting the audience. That's why it's so important to correctly track conversions on all platforms and websites. And provide this analytics directly into the Google Ads account. This is very important. The next challenge that is very common on Shopify platforms is that you do not set up tracking codes for dynamic remarketing. This dynamic remarketing performs a whole range of benefits for performance, two of which are fundamental. It more thoroughly sees everything that happens with your products on the site. It operates based on product analytics. And next, it can use this analytics for targeting. So, dynamic remarketing usually, if you read about it, is supposedly advertising that can follow you around if you have viewed certain products. But performance has been brought to a more advanced format, meaning that if similar products to yours were previously searched on competitor sites, even without the person visiting your product on your site, this dynamic remarketing functionality can show it in the search results of the competitor site where your potential client has already been. Cool, right? But on Shopify, as usual, not all functionality is tracked, and dynamic remarketing is often simply forgotten. But it is fundamentally important. This is a challenge. The challenges we face specifically on this project. Well, due to our own security system, we were not given access to Shopify to fix these codes that track this directly. This adds complexity. I told you that the potential cost per conversion should be cheaper. However, it cannot be reduced because we are training the performance data to navigate simply by events, by some occurrences without product-level analytics. This is kind of a downside because it adds more instability to the performance work and they can't be smoothly scaled in conversions. At some point, they will stop converting. Or the cost per conversion will increase significantly and so on, but that's the story. I think after the new year, we will try to fix this entire block with the client. The next difficulty is that some of the payment systems, for example, Shopify payments, are somehow incorrectly recorded by the source, the traffic channel. Directly on Shopify, for some reason, Their own payment system incorrectly identifies the source of traffic. She either completely changes it or overwrites it with something entirely direct. So, this is yet another problem. Because of this, part of our performance in working with the same Google objects adequately operates already with the display network, with search, significantly cheaper than in classic search or the display network in terms of cost per conversion. But our product advertising is not effective enough for the same reason that we cannot provide adequate analytics to the artificial intelligence about which products need to be prioritized in the listings and which products perform better for us. Because the difficulty of selling such impulsive goods or non-essential items lies in the fact that people usually visit your site and then browse other products. For example, they might look at some white flowers but end up buying peonies. And this performance analytics could have been seen if we had access to the site's code, which we could have fixed. But that's not the point today, conditionally. So, if we look at it, this period of difficulty is constantly happening with some iterations of adjustments. Here, for example, are the results for just a week, when everything is more or less stable in the advertising campaigns. Here, the cost per conversion has dropped, and here is a new test campaign with new signals. The conversion rate here is quite good. Always pay attention to the conversion rate. If it is below 1, the traffic is likely not very high quality or too broad. So it's not about quality anymore. It can be absolutely targeted, but it's too broad. Unfortunately, this is a nuance in evaluating the effectiveness of your performances that can be tracked. Well, 1.5% is still more or less ideal, and the profitability, thus there are few of these purchases here. A little, because we have a small daily advertising budget, plus it is very difficult for us to scale this up as December is already ending, and additionally, not all analytics are provided by Performance Max. Well, this is roughly the result you can expect. What was it like before this? If we show it, because this is not a pure launch week, it is still a whole block of work done considering the complications we have had over this entire period. So, we have advertising campaigns that ended up converting very expensively. There are some that became cheaper. There are some that we even turned off, as you can see here. That is, they became ineffective over time. There are tests that, for example, didn't work or other issues. In other words, a whole range of work was carried out in this account just to get this set of conversions in 7 days at such a cost with this kind of profitability and return on investment. So, simply launching an advertising campaign here won't really help. A comprehensive set of signals, revisions, and other adjustments is needed just to bring the advertising campaigns to some kind of ratio. In other words, the goal here was profitability. This is indeed the kind of case study I would like to demonstrate to you today.